This is how to increase the profitability of your project. So if you're a service-based business and you're not sure what your profit is per project, then this video is absolutely going to be for you. So firstly, we need to define what is project profitability. Now, a lot of service-based businesses really struggle with this, understanding it, because it's very different to, let's say, an e-commerce business or where you're selling goods. Where there's goods being sold, you have a cost of the good, and then you have a delivery cost, and then whatever is left over, more or less, after, of course, marketing as well, then that is your profit. And that's your profit per item sold. So if you spend £10 on marketing, the good costs £20, and then your shipping's £5, so that's 20, 30, 35, and you sold it for 50, then you made £15 profit. And that's really easy to track. But with service-based businesses, it's significantly harder because there's so much more that goes into a service-based business. Whether you're doing projects or retainers or whatever else, being able to track how much money are you making on a monthly basis per client and then per project becomes a lot more difficult. It becomes a grey area. However, it doesn't necessarily need to be like this. There are ways of tracking your profitability per project by using systems. Okay. And I know, oh, boring systems, but this is what the bigger, larger organizations, the large service-based businesses do to make sure that they're making money on every single project that they take on. So firstly, we need to actually define what is cost. So in order for a project to have a cost associated with it, we need to define what that cost actually is. Now, in most instances for service-based businesses, I'd say 90% of the time, the cost is going to be people. People work on projects and their time accrues against a particular project and their time has a cost. Okay, so we need to think, let's take all of the people inside of our organization and work out what their time is worth. And that's quite an easy calculation. So if you take their annual salary and then divide it by the total number of hours they're employed to work over the course of the year, I would include holidays in this. So if they have, let's say, a month's worth of holiday, then you still need to include that because that's a cost to the business. So I'm just going to pull my calculator out now. So let's say that someone's salary is £50,000 per year, right? Or $50,000 a year. And they work 40 hours a week and there's 52 weeks in a year, or we at least pay them that. That's 2,080, right? So give or take 2,000 hours, 2,000 working hours within a year. So then we go 50,000 and I'm just going to do it by 2,000. So 50,000 is their annual salary. That's the total cost of the business, by the way. So if you have, let's say, I know in the UK, national insurance, we've got other tax contributions that we have to make. But let's just assume that the total cost for that particular employee to our business is £50,000 or $50,000. And then we're going to divide it by 2,000, which is on average the number of hours people work. Now you can be more specific, obviously, but that then gives them an hourly rate of £25 or $25 an hour. So now we've defined cost. Okay, so we've gone, right, our project revenue is X, and then we've got cost, and our cost is the $25, and that's just per person. So now we know that if someone works 10 hours on a project, so let's take this particular person, if they work 10 hours on a particular project, then that's $250 or £250 as a cost. Let's say our revenue for that particular project is $5,000. So that's $4,750 project profit. Okay, because we tracked the number of hours that have been worked associated with that particular project, and we've worked out the hourly rate of that particular person that was working on that particular project. Okay, so now you need to extrapolate this across your entire organization. So you need to look at every single employee, what their salary is, roughly speaking, and then essentially what their hourly rate works out to be. So that's kind of step one. If you can do that, you're already making a lot of progress. The next thing you need to look at is, well, how do I actually track this information? So I have it available to me. I know what people's costs are. So I know if X person, Y person working on this project, then this person cost me $75 or pounds an hour, and this person is costing me $25 or pounds per hour. I then need a system to be able to log all of this information really, really easily. So for a service-based business, the next natural thing that you're going to want to look at is a time tracking platform of some description. So my personal recommendation, and in no way am I affiliated with this company, but my recommendation based on all of the different system implementations we've done, time tracking setups we've done, is to use Clockify. So get Clockify. It's the best platform on the market for this particular purpose, in my opinion. I would get the enterprise version of the platform, especially if you're trying to do some more sophisticated stuff. And then that will allow all of your team to begin to log their time against different projects. Now, there's a little bit of nuance to this. You have to have a system that when a new project is won, it automatically creates that project record inside a Clockify. And then you obviously have to buy your team licenses. So every single team member needs a license inside a Clockify, and they can bank time against a different project, and you'll have all of your projects within Clockify. Now that's pretty easy to set up. Obviously, you can manually create new projects in Clockify as opposed to integrating it when a new project's created. And then within Clockify, you can define an hourly rate per user as well. So they don't have to see this, obviously. You don't want people to see all of their different hourly rates. People might get upset. But it is possible for you to say, Sally is on, or Sally's effective hourly rate is 25. Dave's is 105 because he's the highest paid person in the organization. So if he's working on a project, then we don't want a lot of his time being used on that. So that's kind of step one. We've now got Clockify set up with our projects in Clockify set up, and then we have time or cost associated with all of the employees. Now, one could argue you could literally just leave it there and go, right, that's me, I'm done now. But what I have found works even better is if you can integrate your Clockify system with your project management system. So that means that every single time submission is also logged in either your Monday.com or Asana or Trello, whatever you're using. And then the hourly rate rolls up to the project. But then what we can also do is then roll up to the client as well. Now, this is kind of the tactical way of doing this. Use Clockify, integrate Clockify with your project management system. Every time a time submission is logged against a project in Clockify, it creates a new record inside of, let's say, Monday.com, for example. That cost is then associated with that project. We store the project revenue inside of your project management system. And then we have obviously a system within Monday that rolls up the total cost based on all of the hours submitted from all of the different people. And then we take the revenue minus the cost, giving us our project profit. Now, the beautiful thing about that is we can then work out, well, what's our average project profit by customer, our average project profit across all of our different projects, our average project profit across our different project types. You can then begin to get really, really granular with what is making you money, and more importantly, what is not making you money within your organization. Now, to take this a step further, like I said, with working out the customers, you can then look at, right, which customers actually pay us good money, because as I'm sure you will know, and as I know all too well, there are certain people that you work with that take the absolute, they take liberties is what they do. And they will work you to the bone. Whereas you have other customers who pay exactly the same money, who get the attention that they deserve, but they don't ask too much. And this is where you can then look at the information that you have, your project revenue, your project cost, and consequently your project profit, and make an assessment on who you do and do not want to continue to work with. Now, it's not really a hack. It's like really logical. But it's so rare for me to work with a service-based business that's already doing this for whatever reason. It's like they just didn't think that this was a thing. Whereas if I would not work with an e-commerce business, but I guess if I did, they would very, very, very easily be able to tell me, well, what their revenue, their costs, and then their profit. But most service businesses can't do this. So when you're working with projects, it all just gets a bit grey. It becomes really difficult to track. So my recommendation to you is you need to begin to look at your project profitability. This makes scaling your entire business so much easier, because if you don't have this information, you're essentially just flying blind. You've got no real idea of what's going on within your organization. So just to recap, first and foremost, you need to take all of the employees within your organization, work out their effective hourly rates based on their salary, or not necessarily salary, total cost to your business, divided by 2,000, which is on average the number of working hours someone will work for you within a year. That includes their holiday, because you're still paying for their holiday, so you want to factor that into your hourly cost. So you've got that available to you. You then need a means of tracking the amount of time that they've been working against different projects. Now, someone might be watching this and thinking, oh, well, just use Excel spreadsheets. That is not the solution that I'm suggesting here at all. Do not use Excel spreadsheets or Google Sheets. Please try and do this properly. It's for the benefit of your own business. So once you've got their hourly rate, you know what each person's costing you per hour of their time. So that's your unit. Then you need a means of tracking that. I would use Clockify. Make sure all of your projects are added to Clockify. Clockify is very simple to use, really straightforward. I might even do a video on it. You never know. And then you can have them and make sure every employee adopts Clockify. The whole adoption piece might take a little bit of time, but once people are warm to it, often they will just remember, oh, I need to log my time in Clockify. Oh, once they get in the habit of it. If you're struggling with adoption with Clockify or any time tracking tool that you're looking to use, then just encourage people to use it. You can do incentives and things like that, that the person that's logged the most amount of hours in Clockify gets X party, I don't know, X present, I don't, X gift. Okay. So you can do things like that. But once you've got Clockify sorted and now your team is logging their time against the projects that you have within the system, then the next step is integrating Clockify with your project management system. Now there's a chance you might not even have a project management system, so you're going to have to look at that. You can watch some of my videos on how to set up project management for your service-based business, or we can help you. Check out the link below. But then you want to obviously integrate Clockify with your project management system, and then all of the time submissions correlate with your projects within your project management system. You can then track your revenue, your cost, your profit, and then most importantly, we can report on the information. Now, obviously this escalates in complexities. Like integrations are not that straightforward, but once it's done, whether you pay someone else to do it, there are people on Upwork that do integrations, specialize in integrations, Upwork, Fiverr, loads of freelancers. And once you've got that sorted, very easily see exactly how much money you're making and or losing, know who you should continue to work with, who to absolutely stop working with, and then it becomes a lot easier for you to scale your service-based business, because if you don't have your costs, if you don't have your profits available to you very, very easily, then it's going to become very problematic. It's become it's going to be a lot harder for you to scale. A lot of service-based businesses just use their P&L at the end of the month as their kind of like profit and loss, which yes, in theory that makes sense. In reality, one customer might be taking up 75% of your team's time. I mean, that's extreme, but there are some customers that take up a lot more. Some customers you're losing money on and you need to get rid of them. So hopefully this video has been helpful. Hopefully this has provided you with some steps on how to define costs associated with projects, how to track those costs associated with those projects, and as a result, see your project profitability and then report on that information to get average project profit, and look at all of those exciting things. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.